Now, from the station you count on. In-depth, investigative coverage of today's biggest stories. This is KARK 4 News at 10 in high definition.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Clausen.
I'm Jessica Dean. Well, they say March comes in like a lion with heavy rain headed to the natural state as much as 8 to 10 inches in some places. That could very well be the case.
You could say the lion has roared.
Yeah.
It looks like these mild, windy days may give way to something much different because of our weather authority. Standing by, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan with the very latest on this. And Keith, we are looking at some rain. We're looking at a lot of rain. Basically.
That's right, Bob. And good evening, Bob and Jessica. Good evening, everybody. A lot of rain headed for Arkansas. But first, let's address the risk of severe weather as we head through the day tomorrow. That is a very, very low risk. If we're going to put it in probability terms, about a 15% chance for central and southern Arkansas. Now, the biggest risk with these thunderstorms tomorrow, if there are any severe thunderstorms, will be large hail. But the further south and west you go toward Texarkana into northeast Texas, you could see damaging winds, perhaps an isolated tornado. The bigger problem, the most critical problem, is going to be the very heavy rain. This is the forecast rain total for the next 24 hours. By this time tomorrow night, most of Arkansas will have already seen an average of 1 to 3 inches of rain. With another bout of heavy rain on the way for Sunday, we could see some minor to moderate flooding problems. We're going to have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
Keith, thanks very much. Maybe some of this rain that's on our way will bring a little relief from the high winds and the dry conditions that have been more or less contributing to so many fires that we've been seeing around the central part of the state.
Absolutely. And one massive fire burned up the Party City store on Rodney Parham in West Little Rock today. It brought parts of that area nearly to a standstill. KARK4's Deidre Wilson live at the scene, continuing our coverage today. Deidre, you've been out there all day. What's new?
We are definitely in need of rain, and it's really windy out here right now, guys. And Captain Randy Hickman with the Little Rock Fire Department told me earlier that high, dry winds played a huge factor in this fire today.
We have seen a rash of structure fires the last couple of weeks. The last 3 days, we've had 4 structure fires.
This structure fire makes 5. Black smoke seen billowing from the roof almost seems uncontainable.
The wind has hampered us in many of those fires.
Maybe this one too.
It just engulfed. It was really quick.
Witnesses began taking this video when the fire first started. Excited and shocked employees say they used this fire extinguisher to help put out the flames.
I said, "Ken, there's a fire." He came up and he's like, "What?" So I went up there and I was like, "Come here and look."
They looked, made sure all the customers were out, and then got out themselves. Very shortly after, 8 units pulled up to the scene, unloaded their hoses, and went to work on putting this fire out, leaving the future uncertain for these employees.
What happens now?
I don't know.
Now, right over my shoulder over here, I walked over here, guys. I'm surprised the fire department has not been called back out. There is smoke, lots of smoke coming out the side of that building. Now, let's take a look. We did a little dumpster diving tonight in a dumpster just yards away. A lot of debris, everything that was damaged, a lot of the things are over there. We've got a keyboard. You can see all the smoke, all the dust. Also, a receipt box, everything just thrown in that dumpster just yards away. And right behind me, you can see that the Party City door has been boarded up. That's been boarded up for safety reasons where no one can get in. It's not safe to be in there. Also, on the top of the roof, an AC and heating unit, guys, that I'm being told by officials could be the very cause of this fire today. Reporting live in West Little Rock, Deidre Wilson, KARK 4 News.
Deidre, thanks. A KARK 4 News update tonight as a Pulaski County property owner cited for illegal burning by Arkansas forestry officials. Take a look at this video. It's from a fire yesterday along Geyer Springs. The Forestry Commission today cited Pamela Bowl. She's the property owner. They cited her for out-of-control burning. Fire crews battled flames that damaged a duplex as well as forest land. Investigators also found aerosol cans, plastic, and used fire extinguishers at that scene. This is the 3rd time they've responded to fires on that property in just 18 months. And authorities say the fires are putting an unnecessary strain on first responders. Going in depth now on this issue, although forestry officials say there is not a burn ban for Pulaski County, at least 15 counties, mostly situated in north central Arkansas, are under a burn ban tonight. The entire state of Arkansas is under high danger for wildfires.
After being arrested for battery and public intoxication, Mountain Pine Superintendent Robert Gray faces the school board, deciding his fate and future with the district. KRK4's Marcy Manley there throughout the meeting. And Marcy, the school board decided to take him out of the office for a couple weeks with pay.
That's right, Bob. After spending about an hour in executive session, the board voted to place Gray on paid administrative leave until he appears in court on March 20th. But parents in the district aren't exactly overjoyed by the decision.
I'm disappointed. I thought we held higher standards.
Very disappointed that he was put on administrative leave. In my mind, that's a 2-week paid vacation that our teachers don't even get.
Much of the Mountain Pine Special School Board meeting spent behind closed doors to discuss Superintendent Robert Gray's arrest on February 25th on charges of battery and public intoxication. The Garland County Sheriff called out to a domestic disturbance at his residence, and the deputy's report describes Gray as being highly intoxicated when he tried to hit the officer, a far cry from the reserved, quiet superintendent who appeared at tonight's meeting. In the weeks since, Robert Gray's remained in the district's driver's seat. School board members reluctant to say much of anything to us before or after the meeting, none really addressing why they took up the issue now when the arrest happened 2 weeks ago. But we were able to get a few answers from one board member about the decision handed down.
He has a court date. It hasn't been proved.
So he's just, charged right now, not convicted?
He's being charged, not convicted.
What would you say to parents that are disappointed and upset right now?
Be patient.
Just be patient. Gray refused to comment on the board's decision or his arrest, despite our questions. He's been employed as superintendent since June 2010. His contract runs through 2014. Back to you.
All right, Marcy, thanks very much. 600 people at Jonesboro losing their jobs by the end of the year. New for you tonight at 10 o'clock. The Quad Graphics location in Craighead County announcing today it plans to cease operations. In a press release, the printing company's officials alluded to cost cutting as the reason for closing down the plant there. Company reps say that they will work with affected employees to find them new jobs best they can, including within the company's network. This news comes on the heels of an announcement from StarTech, another company in the area which also plans to lay off over 200 workers in April.
A registered sex offender arrested, but not for the crime you might think. It all happened this afternoon in Baxter County. Matthias Jones, a level 3 registered sex offender, arrived at the Baxter County Sheriff's Office to update his information. According to sheriff's deputies, Jones smelled heavily of alcohol, so they tested him, and he had a blood alcohol level of 0.14. That's nearly twice the legal limit. Jones was taken into custody on public intoxication charges. And speaking of trouble with the law, not as many people taking advantage of that amnesty program with the city of Little Rock as you might think. It's a KARK4 News update now. Judge Alice Lytle tells us since March 5th, only 6 people have showed up to pay old fines owed to the criminal court, bringing in a total of $2,475. Lytle began that program so citizens who have outstanding fines or court costs could come forward and pay them without the fear of going to jail. You can find out when that amnesty program ends. Go to arkansasmatters.com, click on the hot button.
A woman getting a little air, you could say, after a family argument wound up falling prey to a sexual predator. Finding him is the focus of this week's Central Arkansas Crime Stoppers report. She apparently took a walk along Camp Robinson Road near the Kroger in the Levy area of North Little Rock. Take a breather after that family fight. When a car pulled up, the man inside offering her a ride back home. She refused at first, but he persisted. She got fearful, and then she accepted the offer, got in the car to go home. He had other plans.
She stated that the subject drove around the North Little Rock area until he got out into the northern part of the county, where he pulled over and raped her at an abandoned house.
Deputies say the suspect is a black man. He's got a big build, short hair, a lazy eye, and get this, pointy eyebrows, described as upside-down V's virtually over each eye. And he also may have just moved to this area from California. He was driving a silver 4-door Hyundai. The assault happened at 712 Kelly Road. Again, this person may have just moved to the Central Arkansas area from California or may be visiting here. If you know anything about this crime, a reward of up to $1,000 is being offered by Central Arkansas Crime Stoppers for information leading to an arrest and a conviction. The number is right there, 340-TIPS. And as always, when you call this line with information, you can remain anonymous.
Now, from KARK4, your weather authority, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
Well, good Wednesday evening, everybody. Even with the clouds around today, we did see milder temperatures. Just about everybody topping out into the low to mid 70s. The exception up in northwest Arkansas, Harrison and Fayetteville coming in at 67. 75 this afternoon at Little Rock. We had 75 at West Memphis, 77 at Monticello, and 73 the high temperature in Hot Springs. Right now, temperatures are still very, very mild, and in some cases, they're running anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees above the average highs for this time of year, and it's 10 o'clock at night. We still have 63 up at Harrison, 68 at Clinton, 70 at Batesville, Searcy currently at 70. We've got 71 at Monticello, and down in Hope, your current temperature is at 70 degrees. Most everybody will only be dropping into the upper 50s and 60s as we head through the night tonight. Right now in the capital city, it is 72. Dew point's 55, humidity is at 55%. Winds are south at 13, the barometer 30.06. It's steady, but it's going to be falling as a series of storm systems heads our way. Well, we did have plenty of clouds across the state today. Radar now indicating a couple of showers trying to get started. These are mainly in the middle part of the atmosphere, the mid-levels. A lot of this probably not reaching the ground, but it will be reaching the ground a little bit later on tonight as the first in a series of frontal systems heads our way. This front will be sagging slowly southeastward as we head through the night tonight. At the same time, we're going to continue to see moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll be the ingredient that we need to provide showers and thunderstorms on a widespread basis, beginning after about 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow morning and continuing through the day tomorrow. That front moving through Little Rock just after noon, down along the Missouri state, the Louisiana state line by tomorrow evening. Once it moves through, temperatures falling into the 40s across northern Arkansas and into the 50s in central Arkansas. We're going to see a bit of a break on Friday as that front becomes nearly stationary over central and southern Louisiana. Might even see some breaks in the clouds, which is good news to get some time and space between these periods of heavy rainfall. But as we head towards Saturday and Sunday, second area of low pressure will be coming out of West Texas. That'll give us another bout of heavy rain, and we could see totals approaching 8 inches in some locations. Now, we do have a small severe weather threat for tomorrow, primarily in the form of damaging hail, large hail, and that'll be across central and southern Arkansas. To put it in probability terms, about a 15% chance. The bigger threat's going to be very heavy rain. Over the course of the day tomorrow, generally 1 to 3 inches for central and northern Arkansas, some lesser amounts in northwest Arkansas, and then that second surge of moisture comes in. It looks like much of the state of Arkansas will be in the bullseyes for some heavy, heavy rain. A lot of places picking up nearly as much rain in 5 days that we've had for the year so far. Upwards of a half a foot of rain in some isolated locations could pick up 8 to 10 inches, so definitely flooding will be a concern. As we head through the next 7 days, it's going to be a cool Friday, 55 degrees, 30% chance of showers mainly early, some breaks in the clouds in the afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, even on into Monday, another round of heavy rain on the way. Daylight saving time starts Sunday morning at 2 a.m., but it's going to be raining, so I think bigger concerns will be the possibility of some minor to moderate flooding. Keep that in mind. We dry out, of course, as we head into the new work week. And of course, you get your forecast. You're not watching us here, but keep watching us here because there's a lot of weather coming up our way as we head through the next couple of days. 105.1 The Wolf.
And a great idea, great advice to keep in tune to you guys over the weekend, especially if you have any outdoor plans at all.
That's right. They're probably going to be rescheduled based on what we know right now. A lot of rain coming our way, so be very careful. Don't drive through flooded roadways. Definitely don't do that.
Got to be mindful of that. All right,
Stay
Keith.
inside.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Well, still ahead, 2 major car companies issue a recall affecting nearly 1 million cars. Find out if you own one.
Plus, a mother behind bars for a crime you can't believe. These stories and more coming your way in 1 minute.
This is KARK4 News at 10 in high definition with Bob Clausen, Jessica Dean, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Sports with Kerry O'Hara.